Hey guys, welcome to this new series of my over the board tournament I played just recently, last weekend, Friday evening until Sunday afternoon. There were 6 games altogether, but you can get a buy for half a tournament point. I had one buy Saturday night, so I played 5 games. Came into this tournament with a rating of 1463, which is slightly disappointed. I was hoping to get 1500 rating after my first tournaments, 2 tournaments in July. That was my goal, but not to be, but not the end of the world. 1463 is still pretty good. And it was a strong field, this tournament. There was 2 groups, Group A, B. Group A was 1900 and higher, and Group B was everything from no rating up till 1900 basically, and the highest I think was 1890, and the lowest was a bunch of people unrated, and then 1200 or something. That was but most of them were like high 1600 and 1700 to 1800. There's a bunch of people in that range, so yeah, didn't know what to expect, but I was paired with my first game with a 1770. My highest rated opponents in an official tournament. I played some higher in my local chess club, but yeah, this is out of my reach, to be honest. But I was just hopefully play a good game, not a blunder, and I'd be happy anyway if I just don't make some big mistakes and keep him busy, keep my opponent off the streets. That was pretty much my goal, and learn from this game. So this is what happened. I was playing with white, going for my regular setup, the stone wall. At the higher levels, they pretty much always know how to deal with it, but I thought this is the line I've most recently been playing. Yeah, and they normally always challenge this pawn straight away in the higher rated players. So you defend it this way. Stockfish actually prefers pushing, but with the stone wall setup I'd like to just keep it this way. That's how I learned it. And lower rated players, I mean that's anything basically up to this level even, so it's not even lower rated, but I think the higher you get, the more they want to leave the tension. I think the higher you, in general, the higher you get, the more comfortable you're with leaving tension on the board. So the lower levels they always take or push, and the higher you get, they're just going to leave this pawn here, which is what my opponent did pretty much all of the game. Anyway, so yeah, we're just developing here. This is always an inaccuracy in a stone wall, but that's fine. Yeah, and I'm not too unhappy with my setup. He pushed, and yeah, this was a mistake. Oh, he wanted to lock it up straight away. Yeah, I just wanted to like when I'm playing a higher rated opponent, I know that the further along the game gets, the sneakier these people get, and they just squeeze you out. So I thought, like, if I can simplify the position straight away, that's something I'd like to do. So I was trying to bring in another defender and trade off the bishops and the knights. That was my plan, and so that's what happened. Obviously this pawn was attacked twice, but it was actually defended, so that's why it was an inaccuracy, this move. It was not needed, but I had some other plans, because obviously he took with the pawn rather than the bishop, because he wanted to castle long and bring in a rook for an attack on this pawn, which is clever. Even though Stockfish recommends taking with the bishop, I kind of understand where he's coming from, and from that perspective this move isn't that bad. But he wanted to push this pawn straight away, and I think that was a good decision from Stockfish, because now he locks it up, and my bishop doesn't really have any play, but it's gonna change soon. I knew it was gonna go there, just keeping things closed, and now I get to force a trade, because otherwise I'm gonna take his queen, and this is what I wanted. Simplify the position, and obviously I could see he was gonna attack. Yeah, but this is the way these strong players do. They go full on attack and create chances, and I'm already having to defend, even though I'm only like, it's minus 0.5 for white, so I'm slightly behind. The squeeze has started, because from this moment, from here on, I can hang on for a little while, but then I'll just start the pressure starting to get too big. This is just the way these strong players play. Yeah, so already at my level I'm just making mistakes. Didn't know what to do. My bishop's completely stuck behind these pawns, which is the downside of the stone wall. But normally, at the level where I'm playing, opponents don't push this pawn late. But now I can't actually change. How do you say this? Yeah, with this slightly lower rated opponents, they either take the pawn, this pawn, or they push early, which would then give me the opportunity to, this pawn wouldn't just be there just yet. So that was the reason why my move was inaccurate, having him push this pawn, because now I can't actually trade off these pawns, and my bishop is stuck behind these pawns forever and ever and ever. It's just like a fat pawn. No, not really, but see, I'm having to defend. My rooks are completely useless here, and I just need to defend. But this is just the way these people are playing. Yeah. And now this is all locked up, so he's focusing his attack on this side. And I let his king become way too active. Yeah, so, I mean, quality wise, like, we are equal. I'm not down in material, but he's a lot more active than I am. And yeah, just reacting and stuff, and not even quite sure what to do, because everything is locked up. And then I thought, like, well, let's break open things. And here I thought I had a good chance to hang on for one second. Sorry guys, I was just a little bit confused, because the first game has quite a little bit of quite something in common with my third game. So I was kind of worried, thinking like, am I actually explaining the first game or the third game? Because they both end up pretty much on this side of the board, the attack. It was also like the start was a little bit the same with the stone wall. Anyway, so this is the first game, and this is interesting, because I thought, like, this gives me the opportunity to trade off the rooks, which I wanted to do, but I didn't realize it happens when you're being put under pressure, and when you're slowly being squeezed out, you're just having to think of so many things. You just eventually gonna fumble. But with all the things that happen now is I give a check, and then I thought, like, I can give a check and trade of rooks, and we have equal material. I'm 1.5 points down already. It's minus 1.5 for white, and reason being now is that the king is very active, and I make a mistake here by bringing my rook down. I first had to bring my bishop down. I don't think it would have mattered that much, but now I'm minus 3.5 because the king gets in, and this is just pure trouble, because he's going to attack this pawn, and this is going to be the first pawn to fall. And it's an important pawn obviously because this pawn is then a pass pawn. And there's not really much I can do. So yeah, look at this. Look at the we have even pieces, but my king is on the second rank and his king is on my second rank. It's just ridiculous. And yeah, and now he attacks this pawn. I mean, no fear whatsoever. And I considered going here. Okay, so I should have done that. I'm not quite sure. Maybe I should have sacrificed my rook. Let's have a look. Because now obviously he can't take, but I thought like he's just gonna go here. Or actually, oh right, so he brings in a defender. Yeah, that's probably what he would have done. And then what? What does Stockfish say? Break open the center. It's just giving away a pawn. Yeah, I mean, when Stockfish makes these moves, you know you're in big trouble. Yeah, it didn't really matter that much. But I was thinking like, okay, I can't save this pawn anymore, so the bishops are gonna be off the board. I saw these two pawns are weak, so I thought like I can go here with my rook. But then I was thinking, okay, maybe then you can go sit here. And then I thought like if he sits there with his rook, then I can move my rook over here and maybe go for this pawn. But I failed to notice a tactic from my opponent. So this is the move I made. I'm not going to show you the evaluation bar, but I put my rook here. And what do you think my opponent did? There was too many things for me to consider. That's what happens when you play a strong opponent, and then you just can't see everything anymore, and you start making mistakes. So anyway, if you've seen it, nice. If not, not to worry. But I put my rook over here, and he sacrificed his rook, and I can't take it because this pawn is beyond my reach. And obviously I can't go back here with my rook again, because he can just take it. So my opponent said like, I shouldn't have gone here, I should have gone here. Because then he can't take it anymore, because then I can take and I can sit behind it. Oh, he pushes and then I can just sit behind it from here. Yes, these pieces are being traded off, but then I can bring my rook over here, but then obviously he wouldn't have taken it. Yeah. So I went here, he took it, I can't take it. Yeah, I mean, I'm out of moves, so what do you do? And he just gets out of the attack and can even win another pawn if he wants, but he doesn't even do it. He first trades off. That's something strong players also do. They don't immediately go for the obvious, like take this. The rook is defended, pawn is not going anywhere. And yeah, I didn't have time to take this pawn and come back in time, I believed. So, and I thought like I thought these pawns are more important. If I can take this pawn and then sit behind here, I might have a slither of hope. But he can just defend them. And more importantly, yeah, I thought like get as many pawns as I possibly can, so that if I can sacrifice my rook, but this is just wrong thinking of me, but there was too many things, as I said before, to think about. I thought like, and now I've gotten rid of most of his pawns. If he pushes this pawn, I can just sacrifice my rook, and then I thought I can start pushing this pawn, and maybe occupy his rook, and I don't know, yeah. It's just hope chess, but what I failed to notice that he could block it, and there's nothing I can do. I think this is just the best move. Okay, so he did actually say check, but I mean, I could see he could just go all the way here if need be. I mean, I could go there. yeah, don't know what to do. You see, it's game over. So I thought like if he goes there, I can check, but he goes there, and then I have no more checks, and I can't stop this anymore. So I thought like the only hope I have is take it and take this pawn and try to make a queen myself, but it's -6, and over here also make a mistake by giving away another pawn, even though stock chess is the right move, but I think maybe I should have gone here. Yeah, check. Yeah, I don't think it would have mattered actually. Because obviously I wanted to try to push the pawns, but if I go anywhere too far away from this pawn, let's say go here, which is what I did in the beginning anyway, I'm just, this pawn is going to drop. Yeah, so this is what happens, and yeah, with one pawn, what can you do? And I was trying to find a way to push through, but I'm always going to be in some kind of a zugzwang eventually, which has happened here, and this is where I resigned, because obviously I'm going to have to step away from the pawn, he's going to take it, and someone who's 1770 ELO certainly knows how to checkmate with a queen and a king, no doubt about that. So yeah, but I occupied my opponent for 4 hours, and it was equal-ish. It was -0.5 until the 39th move. So that's something I'm actually quite happy with. I didn't make any blunders, I believe. I played with 75% accuracy, my opponent 81. I had no blunders. 2 misses, 5 mistakes, but no blunders. That's what I wanted. I wanted to just play a pretty solid game. 75% accuracy against a, for me, extremely strong opponent is something that I'm proud of. And give me another year and I'll be able to draw these guys or maybe even win. So, hope you learned something from this also for yourself, and that you liked it. And if you did, tomorrow is my next game, the second game of the tournament. So I'm playing a 1650 rated opponent. Yeah, I mean in this tournament the lowest rated player I played was 1600. I'm 1463. So I played a 7070, tomorrow 1650, and the day after I play a 7040, and the next one a 1760, and then a 1600. Ridiculously strong competition, but that's the way you learn. So see you hopefully tomorrow in the next video, game 2 of this over the board tournament. Alright, thanks and see you later. Bye bye.